joining us. This morning we're going to talk a bit about Booking.com and how you can utilise it to maximise your bookings and how to get the most out of your listings on the site. This morning I've got Tom from our support department with me.
Hello everyone.
And we also have three people over in London from Booking.com. Do you guys want to say good morning?
Morning everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, morning.
Hello, my name is Sally. I'm the account manager for SuperControl here in London.
Hi there guys, my name is Fareed. I'm an account exec for Booking.com for UK and Ireland.
My name is Stefan. I'm account executive for connectivity, supporting Sally and SuperControl.
Great, so that's fantastic. For being here this morning, it's definitely a great help. So just a couple of housekeeping bits before we get started. All attendees are muted, but if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat and we will basically present this morning, and then at the end of the webinar we'll answer a couple of questions, but all questions will be followed up at a later date if they're not answered this morning. And with that, I think we'll get on. So just to give you a bit of an overview about just how well Booking.com can work for your business. It's been a fantastic channel for SuperControl, and we're seeing it's having fantastic results across the board for a lot of clients. One of the reasons is because vacation rentals are so prominent on their site. It's not just hotels on there. Vacation rentals are featured alongside hotels, and it's a really good mix on there, so you don't have to decide what type of holiday you're looking for before going onto the site. You can decide what area you're going to or your dates, and then have a look and then see what accommodations available. So you're not having to make the choice between vacation rentals and hotels before you even start your search. Just to give you an idea just how well Booking.com can work, there is 1.5 million room nights booked every 24 hours on Booking.com. So I'm sure you'll agree that that is a massive number of room nights. And, you know, if you get onto the platform, you can definitely have a slice of that. And before you think that that's all hotels, over 840,000 homes and vacation rentals are on the site. So that represents about 2.7 million room nights. So that's actually, you know, quite a big proportion of vacation rentals and homes on the site. So it's definitely something that is relevant to your business and definitely something that you can start using. And to tell us a bit more about how you can get the most out of your listing, I'll hand over to Tom.
Thank you, Kerry. Okay, so we're going to talk a bit about what makes a good listing on Booking.com and how you can get more bookings. So what we're going to do is just show you our Orland, the Orland holiday cottages Booking.com listing. So this is the SuperControl's company directors business. So we're going to show you what makes a good listing and talk a little bit about that. So in terms of availability, we do recommend that you have at least 16 months availability to maximize the amount of bookings that you get, because more availability equals more bookings. If you are unsure of prices that far ahead, say 16 months, 18 months ahead, then just increase them, and the worst that's going to happen is that you're going to get a booking at that higher rate. In terms of pricing, we do recommend that you make sure your pricing model is as flexible as possible to ensure that you get the most bookings. So if you're offering the shortest length of stay that you offer as a business, for example, and also any arrival days that you offer too. So one night stay minimums and any day arrival will result in the most bookings coming through. Using an uplift as possible. In terms of price parity, it's important to have your rates matching those that are on SuperControl. So if you find that whilst using an uplift you're getting a lot of bookings, then you should just increase your pricing. I don't know if you have anything to add on it.
Yeah, so uplifts seem to be the hot topic, not just for Booking.com, but for across the board on the channels. And while we allow uplifting on a lot of our channels, because it is what our clients are looking for, we do discourage it. And the reason we discourage it is because the uplifting is actually quite often misunderstood. And as Tom quite rightly said there, if you price it by a certain percentage and you find that you're still getting bookings on a booking channel for those rates, you should just increase your rates across the board, because you're still going to get them bookings, and who doesn't want more money? The other thing as well is it's becoming a lot easier through searches, and people are becoming a lot more wary online, and it's not good to have lots of different pricing out there. It's better to have price parity across the board, so that your prices look genuine and it comes across as being a lot more trustworthy. The other thing is Booking.com do actually look as a company, they do look for price parity, and sometimes you can uplift yourself out of bookings. So on your website, if you have a price in, it's very easy to see that that is the price for your property and that's it. On a site like Booking.com, you're competing in the search results against lots of different properties, and it's very easy to see if your property is, too expensive. It will stick out a mile if you've uplifted your prices too much and you've outpriced yourself out of that search range. So with the uplifts, it is available and it is there, but just be very careful. And for any advice, please give us a shout here. We'd be happy to talk you through it, or indeed the Booking.com guys as well would be more than happy to help you on that one.
Of course, thanks, Kerry. So that's availability and prices, a few tips there. And moving on, we're going to look at the actual sort of listing content. So in terms of photos, as you can see here on the Oraland listing, we've got some very high quality photos here. They're relevant, you can see the property there, and you've got a few pictures of the surroundings. So these first sort of 10 photos are the most important, because these are the ones that the guest sees first. So they really need to sell the property and allow you to get that booking. In terms of your photo content, it's important also to have a photo of every room. So bathrooms are particularly important because a guest wants to see this. So if you have a photo of every room, then you're boosting your chances of getting a booking there. So in terms of other listing content here, let me just change to a different screen. Yeah, in terms of listing content, if I go to property here, and if I go into property page score,
it is worth noting that this is your Booking.com login. So lots of you guys will have been in here, but some of you might not have been in here. The reason being, using SuperControl as your channel manager, you don't actually have a daily need to be in here. So for instance, your bookings and your prices and your availability are all dealt with in SuperControl, so the day-to-day running of your Booking.com bookings are dealt with. But it is worth having a look in here, because as we're about to show you, there's actually quite a few useful tools and a few useful bits that will help you make the most out of your listing.
Okay, so onto the property page score. So this section here of your Booking.com account, as Kerry says there, does contain a handy little feature here called the property page score. And this will give you a score based on what content you have added for the listing. So as you can see here for this particular listing, the Oraland one, we've got a score of 100%. So everything needs content, has content. So you're really boosting the chances of getting a booking there. So the more descriptions you've got, better descriptions, the more photos, and all of these different sorts of things that to the structure of a listing. If these are completed, then, as I said, it's going to boost your chances of getting a booking there. Well, that's all I really have to say in terms of content and availability and pricing. And I'm going to pass you across to Kerry, who's going to talk a little bit about communication, reviews, and the Opportunity Centre. Thank you.
So I'm sure you're all aware, because you'll have been in this business for a long time. And with anything in life, communication is key. So, and that is the same when using these booking channels. You don't just sit back and think that everything's taken care of. So it's really important, and about 77% of travellers will not wait more than 6 hours for an email response. So it's really important that you're on the ball with any questions and can answer them as quickly as possible. And that response time will actually come down even more if you have a lot of business travellers. They will get very quick response again. And it's important to kind of think of it as every touch point is an opportunity to sell your business and to make your guest's life easier and to have an impact on their life. They might ask you a simple question, but it's an opportunity for you to really sell the business and come back with an answer that goes above and beyond. There's lots of different touch points, but the main ones over the email communication really are pre-sale questions. So that's any questions that guests have before coming to your property. A welcome note, because it's always nice to get that, and that can include any information that they might need. And also a thank you note, which again is lovely to get and receive once you've been to a property, but it's also a good opportunity for you to nudge someone to leave you a review, which we'll touch some more on just now. So as well as communication, reviews are hugely important when it comes to bookings and online travel agents like booking.com. It's just one of these things that's really boomed over the internet over the last few years. And all of these major channels will have their reviews online, and it's really, really important. And reviews are actually counting as much now as a family recommendation to a guest, and a lot of guests will actually base their booking decisions on reviews. So it's really, really important that you do your very, very best review. And how do you get a good review? Well, you give a good customer experience, but you don't just give a good customer experience, you give a great customer experience. So again, this comes down to absolutely going above and beyond. But this can just be little things, making sure there's great towels and sheets in the property, and making sure you've really tried to reach out to your guests and make their life as easy as possible whilst on holiday. As well as the reviews, your response to the reviews are also just as equally important. So if you get left a review, it's fantastic to say thank you. If you get left a review that's maybe not great or has some points in it that need followed up and picked up on, don't be scared to answer the review, but do it in a way that is courteous. So the last thing you want to do is get into an argument online over a review, but definitely answer it and take the points on board and try to better them in the future. The next thing we want to show you in here is the Opportunity Centre. So this is the tab up the top here, and we will just click on it. So the Opportunity Centre is basically a tailored centre with your opportunities in it, and this is how, again, a bit like the property score page, it's how you can do well on booking.com. These guys know what they're talking about, and they're working with lots of different users every single day. In here, now this is things that you don't have to action, but it's things if you do action, it will have a good impact on your business on the site. You might find that one or two are really easy to action. It might be a case of you have a swimming pool, but you've not put a photograph of it, or it might be a case of the first one we see here, the automatic replies. If you find that some of them are more difficult, you don't have to implement them right away, but it is certainly something that you would maybe work towards in the future, and it is something that can help your business on the site. The other thing I'd like to just point you towards is the analytics tab in here. Now, I'm not going to go into this tab because it is actually a live site that we're using at the moment, so I don't really want to go in there and show you guys any information that I shouldn't. But it's definitely worth having a look at. There's a lot of really useful information in that analytics tab. It can cover your room nights and how well you're booked and how far your guests are in advance, so that you can really have a look at what you should be doing to make things better. And you can also have a look at your competitors. So you might think that your competitor is just the cottage up the road from you, but actually on booking.com with lots of international travellers, your competitors actually could be a lot further afield. So it's great to have a wee look in there and see who your competitors on the site are and how you could do better. And the one last thing I wanted to point you towards in here was in the properties tab, and then if you go into policies. Now, this is just a wee thing to have a look at in here. It's basically just your basic setup within booking.com for things like check-in, check-out time, key collection, and how you deal with deposits and things like that. Now, the reason I tell you to have a wee look in here is because it's a really, really easy way of reducing friction with your guests. You might have guests coming too early and they keep coming too early, and it might just be a case of that your check-in time's too early on the site. So just have a wee look over in here and just double check that everything that you see is correct and nothing needs to be changed or anything like that. And I think that was our whistle-stop tour of everything that we had to go through this morning for booking.com. So if anybody has any questions, we will open up the questions now. Okay, Nikki. So that's a really good question. So Nikki has asked, she doesn't really understand where she should be accessing the booking.com site to see her details, or if she should be doing it in SuperControl. So Tom, can maybe tell us a bit about what's pulled from SuperControl at the moment and what you see in booking.com.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of the booking.com integration, it is just rates and availability. So all of your listing contents, all of your photos, descriptions, etc. Are all created on booking.com. So if you're planning to link booking.com with SuperControl and you don't already have a listing on their site, then you would create that first, and then you would link it with us. And then what we can do is send the rates and availability across. So that's the way the integration works currently. We do have other integrations that are content as well. To the way those work.
Yeah, so it is worth just saying, Nikki, one thing I set up SuperControl, so all bookings will come in SuperControl and you can deal with them, and things like your availability and pricing would take care of themselves. But for anything that we went through here this morning, so for anything on the policies or replying to reviews and things like that, that would be something you would have to log into your booking.com account for. And
also messages as well. Any sort of messaging between yourself and the guest would have to be done in booking.com as well. Now you can send emails, sort of arrival details, that sort of stuff from SuperControl. You will have seen the auto email we've got there, and you can just generate an email for booking as well, as you might know. And they will send the booking.com guests inbox. So there is that as well. But any sort of messaging, sort of to and fro from the guest, in your booking.com.
We'll sign off now. Thank you very much for attending this morning. This webinar will appear in our help centre, so if you just catch all of it, or if you can just log into the help centre and see it on there. Thank you very much to Sally, Stefan and Fareed for being here this morning, and thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Kerry, and thank you everyone.